Watch this.
It's Friday. We made it through the week. So glad you're with us. On its way to you here on the 208. Tourism is a major moneymaker in Idaho, and the state of Idaho, they now want to hear from you about how tourism impacts your community and perceptions about it around the state.
It's just been really cool what we've seen throughout the week.
All week long, the Eagle community has been carving pumpkins in anticipation of the first ever Night of 1,000 Pumpkins. Yup, it's exactly what it sounds like, and yeah, someone's got to go out there to count them, right? Well, either way, it's going to be pretty cool. We're giving you a first look. No ways around it. Boise State football has had a challenging season, and ahead of their matchup with Wyoming this weekend, Sports Director Jay Tust, he joins the program to talk about the math on the Bronco winning standard. 208 starts right now. Hey, happy Friday. So glad you're with us here on the 208. We are a little more than a week away from the election. It's not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday on November 7th. So between now and then, you'll likely see political ads, namely the Boise mayoral race, maybe selectively the Boise mayoral race, but it prompted a good question into the KTVB inbox, and we'll show it to you right now. Nick in Boise asked, Mike Masterson's TV political ad featured historical news video clips from both KTVB and Fox 9. Do you have to source you, or do they have to ask permission, or is it public domain and they can use this freely? So here's the clip that Nick mentioned, and inside of it, this is the beginning of the clip, and there you go. There's Mark Johnson, an old News Channel 7 clip. So yes, they can actually use the news clips in their commercials. The only real requirement is that the clip needs to be correctly attributed. So this does fall under fair use, maybe a term that you've heard, and we use fair use all the time here on the 208 when we show you clips of things. So it goes both ways. Section 107, though, of the Copyright Act, that's what provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use, and it identifies certain types of use, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, research, and, campaign ads. So yes, they qualify as fair use. So could KTVB refuse to air a campaign ad because it used one of our clips and for whatever reason we didn't like it? Let's just say, for example, an ad gave out the wrong call letters, like, I don't know, like in this ad. We'll show you right here. Oh, so close. Almost KTVB. That is KTBV. But no, regardless of whatever call letters they accidentally put out there, we can't refuse ads unless it's something that breaks an existing law or something very extreme. A related note for you, though, political ads on TV, they aren't required to be factual. Did you know this? The First Amendment protects political speech on television, but the people who make the ads, they can always be held liable for defamation, depending on whatever their ad claims. By the way, rules like these, they tend to only apply to candidates who are legally qualified, not third-party groups that can include PACs or super PACs in those federal elections, which sometimes they go ahead and just produce ads on behalf of certain candidates. But love the questions. Keep them coming. On the national stage, the United States has a new Speaker of the House, and Idaho Congressman Mike Simpson wasted no time giving him an Idaho appeal. Simpson tweeted out to Speaker Mike Johnson directly, urging him to pass the 2023 Farm Bill. Do you remember this?
Simpson calls his legislation the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. The bipartisan bill aims to provide documentation for the undocumented agriculture workers already in the states, to provide year-round visas for future H-2A agriculture workers, and for those who choose to provide a pathway toward citizenship.
We almost had it done on the omnibus last year, but we just couldn't get it across the finish line, so we're trying again this year.
Trying because 90% of Idaho's dairy workers are foreign-born, and agriculture sectors like dairies, they're year-round, they're not seasonal, so they need year-round help. And a work visa, as it stands, doesn't exist for that specific situation. And today, they're trying with a letter, though, to fix this, to Speaker Johnson, saying, quote, for a mere 1/5 of 1% of federal spending, the Farm Safety Net, including commodity support programs and crop insurance, provides farmers and ranchers the foundation they need to manage risk and continue producing the highest quality, lowest cost food. Letter goes on to say that they urged Mr. Johnson and the conference at large to really make sure that they pass the Farm Bill. And the letter was signed by 12 congressmen, none of those were the other 3 Idaho congressmen, though. So Simpson said in his tweet that he is confident that Congress will pass a strong farm bill that stands with gem state producers and farmers. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they do. All right, let's get to know Idaho. Did you know this? Idaho's 3rd largest industry? It's tourism. That's behind agriculture, obviously, see the last story, and technology. Yes, big here in the state. I want to show you an infographic, though. Lots of cool notes here from the state of Idaho in terms of tourism. And maybe you have thoughts on tourism in Idaho. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, maybe you have some ideas. Well, the state of Idaho, they want to hear from you, the people of Idaho. The first ever Visit Idaho Resident Sentiment Survey is now live. Through November 5th, you can visit this website, and they want your input on tourism. Jeremy Chase, Idaho Department of Commerce Marketing and Innovation Administrator, he details what exactly they're looking for and why.
Well, this is our first, it's the first time that we have conducted what's known as a resident sentiment survey about tourism. And we feel it's the time to do it because, our program has seen a lot of success and a lot of growth. But to make sure that we continue on a path that is as well informed and successful as possible, we need to get input. It asks really about how they feel, how people perceive tourism to be in the state. It goes into some detail about perceptions of how it affects their local communities or not. So what's really interesting about it is that a lot of these questions are going to be helpful for us to understand how much of an impact do Idahoans feel tourism has in their, in the localized economy or not, or just awareness of tourism's impact on the local level. Tourism is the 3rd largest industry in the state behind agriculture and technology, and it's an exciting program to be part of, and no better state, of course, to be able to promote because of the wonders that we have and the places to see, visit, and explore. The intent is to help us that much more sharpen our marketing and our communications programs to make sure that we're getting public input and making sure that we have care and consideration with how we promote the state and having the public voice in mind.
All right, so they want to hear from you. Through November 5th, you can visit Idaho has the survey up at visitidaho.org/survey. And speaking of tourism, if you're from or near or far, or you're going to want to head over to Eagle tomorrow night to experience the first ever Night of 1,000 Pumpkins. What is this, you ask? Well, it's exactly like it sounds. There are going to be dozens of carved pumpkins out at Eagle City Hall. Eagle Parks and Rec have been hosting carving parties all week to get those pumpkins stacked up.
We've had people come in and just gut pumpkins, and then we've had people come in and show us our artistic talents. We've had everything from Volkswagen buses carved to sports teams logos. I mean, it's just been really cool what we've seen throughout the week. I carved a pumpkin, just a typical jack-o'-lantern. I really don't have any artistic skills, so that's what we went with.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, and Night of 1,000 Pumpkins is tomorrow night from 5 to 9 p.m. at Eagle City Hall. There will be, of course, the 1,000 jack-o'-lanterns to ooh and ah at, but also activities like trunk-or-treating, food, music, chili cook-off, and the city is encouraging you to bring a donation for the Eagle Food Bank because they are low on food. And if you're interested in carving a pumpkin, you can head on over to Eagle City Hall right now until 8 tonight to help carve the last of the 1,000 pumpkins. Sticking with the spooky theme, the Earth, the spherical that we all live on here, well, it contains millions of graves if you think about it. And who maintains all of those historical grave sites here in the state of Idaho? Well, the Heritage Program keeps around 15 grave sites and cemeteries in the Payette National Forest looking their best or spookiest. And the group visits various sites through the year, repairing fences, headstones, and trimming back vegetation. A bit of spooky info. This fall, the group repaired a fence at Dead Man's Bar. According to the Park Service, the name comes from an incident in 1886 where 3 miners were found dead. Their companion, John Tonner, was arrested but later freed for self-defense as there were no witnesses. All right, a lot going on around the 208. Lots of events, including the drug take-back, a Boise food tour, and oh yeah, Pedro is coming back to town. Morgan Romero's got the 411.
Tomorrow is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. According to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, substance misuse continues to climb. There were 381 drug overdose-related deaths and more than 4,400 emergency room visits just last year in Idaho. Idahoans are encouraged to throw away their unused or expired medication every day, but tomorrow they're encouraged even more. There will be easy places to do it too. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can go to multiple locations to safely and anonymously get rid of prescription medications. You can find those locations right now on our website, ktvb.com. Do you like food? Who doesn't? You're in luck because Taste of Downtown Boise starts tonight. You can eat your way through the capital city with $12 specials, social hour, and prix fixe menus. The event goes for 10 days, and people who take part can have a special experience at nearly 50 restaurants in downtown Boise. So, come hungry. Still looking for Halloween plans or a costume idea? Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite is going to be hosting a DJ set tomorrow at Realms Arcade. You can come dance the night away as any Napoleon Dynamite character, or at least dressed as a high school student from Preston, Idaho in the 80s. Best part? This is an all-ages, family-friendly event. And that's the 411 on the 208. I'm Morgan Romero.
Boise State is set to return to the blue this weekend against Wyoming. Yes, the Cowboys are coming to town. But the Broncos, well, the boys really need a win. Some fans are comparing this team to years past. So how do they stack up? Are the Broncos hitting that winning mark? Jay Tuss joins the show after the break. And we want to hear from you. Send us a text about the show, the stories, or just something interesting. Our phone number, 208-321-5614. Please be sure to include your name and hashtag the 208 in your text message. We'll get to some of these at the end of the show. Hey, welcome back. Jay is ready to roll here on the 208. Jay, I know we got a big football game for the Boise State Broncos. We're going to be honest here on the 208. That's what we do. It hasn't been the best Boise State football season in a long time.
Yeah, I guess that's being honest.
It is being honest.
It is being honest. I mean, I hate being critical, in all honesty. You go ahead and put that up, actually.
Yeah, we got some great stuff.
This is what's going to tell the story here. I don't like being critical, but this is the storyline we have to talk about. And you can see Andy Avalos, 33 games into his career, has 13 losses. That is more than Chris Peterson had in 104 games at Boise State, Dan Hawkins had in 64 games at Boise State, and Dirk Cutter had in 36 career games at Boise State. Brian Harsin had 19 losses, but again, his tenure spanned almost 80 games. Now, we can go off winning percentages, and you can see in that left column, Andy, just over 60% of his games have resulted in a victory. That is well off the mark of the guys ahead of him. The biggest concern that I would say for me, Joe, that Boise State has to get back to is defending the blue. Under Andy Avalos, they are 10-6 at home. That's a .625 winning percentage. Look at all those marks right above him. Brian Harsin won 86% of his games on the blue. Dan Hawkins never lost a regular season conference game on the blue. Wow. Chris Peterson was 50-2 on the blue. Dirk Cutter was 18-3 on the blue. So this is something tomorrow with Wyoming coming to Boise State and playing on the blue. They have to defend their home turf tomorrow.
I know when you show that graphic, there's a lot of names that people will recognize.
Yeah.
Of course, a guy like Chris Peterson, one of the best coaches in recent memory. When you have Andy Avalos on that list, in terms of experience, how does his experience as a head coach at the NCAA level compare to those others?
Yeah, it's interesting. When a lot of those guys took over as the head coach of Boise State, none of them really had previous head coaching experience. Chris Peterson, this was his first head coaching job. Brian Harsin had that year at Arkansas State, so a little bit of experience before becoming a head coach at his alma mater. But Andy Avalos, this is his first head coaching job, and he's in year 3. And I think in year 3, you really want to start to see your team make strides, because these are technically your recruits that are now redshirt sophomores and starting to take over the program. This is a program that is dominated by their underclassmen when it comes to some of the production, but it just hasn't been enough so far. They sit at 3-4 right now, Joe, and I mean, there's a real reality that they might miss a bowl game. And the reason why this game on Saturday is so important, with 5 games to go, they have to win 3 of them to attain that bowl eligibility to get to 6 wins. They will be an underdog at Fresno State next week. And then on Black Friday on the blue against Air Force, the Falcons could roll in here 11-0 and a top 10 team in the country chasing a New Year's 6 bid. Boise State could be fighting just to get bowl eligible in that game. So the juxtaposition of what was and what is now in terms of the Mountain West Conference and the elite, that's quite noticeable right now. But Boise State needs this win to make sure that they can get bowl eligible on Saturday.
When's the last time Boise State didn't make a bowl, because they just didn't have the winning record? I mean, forgetting the COVID years and the rainouts and all that.
You have to go back a long time in terms of not winning enough games, because you're right. They've missed out on a bowl game a couple times in the last few years, but that was for a lightning storm in a Texas bowl game, and obviously there was the COVID season, but you have to go back over 25 years for them not to hit that 6-win mark and get to a bowl game. It's been a long time. Okay. A long time, Joe.
A lot of pride on the line. You can catch Jay and Brady and the whole team tomorrow on the blue. We'll step aside. 208's back after this. After much anticipation, the Boise version of Monopoly the board game, it's now out. We're checking out the final product and comparing it to what you thought should be on the game. Have something else quirky and cool that you want to share with us here on the 208? Maybe a story pitch? Maybe just a friendly Friday hello. Hi out there. Whatever it is, text us. 208-321-5614. Please include your name and hashtag the 208 so we know it's for us. And yes, we're going to get to some of these live at the end of the show.
Hey, welcome along and take a look at this snowy area behind me here. Yeah, it's not far off. This is Bogus Basin, just right over the mountain. As we look up here just in the north, still they have quite a bit of snow around there. As we talk about the valley now, the valley will have temperatures into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday down into the mid-20s. So be prepared for those cold temperatures. Not saying it's going up a lot, but at least we get near 40 degrees as we get more toward the end of next week. Everything's showing that it's going to be warming up. All this cold air, Arctic air here in the upper portions of Canada is moving down from about Minnesota. It's going to eventually move down towards Chicago, but you can see that that's kind of the cold air that's in the area. We're on the western edge of that. So for tonight, it'll drop our temperature down to about 25, 30 for Ontario, 22 degrees for Twin Falls. Tomorrow's highs will basically be in the mid-40s, so watch that Bronco game. It's going to be chilly there, 46 degrees. Here's the cold air now moving to the east. If you watch that, here's some of the warmer air out here to the west, and that's going to eventually start moving in. That's about the middle of next week, toward the end of next week. It takes a westerly flow to do that. It's a little warmer along the west coast, so we're going to see those temperatures kind of start slowly. I've got to emphasize slowly change as it comes in from the west. As you look at this northwest satellite picture, you'll see we have clear skies for tonight, which means that it's going to clear out, cool down, and then here's the next storm that we're talking about, which will be middle of next week, bringing those temperatures up. So speaking of temperatures, you're seeing here around the Magic Valley, as well as most of the central mountains, your highs are going to be into the 30s. Mountains going to be very cold over the weekend, especially morning lows dropping down into the teens. Down in the valley, temperatures dropping into the mid-20s. Highs will at least make it into the mid to the upper 40s. Some spots getting close to 50 degrees, but you can see around the valley about 47 for the high temperature there. So next 7 days, well, we got some breezy conditions tomorrow and a little bit more on Sunday. So that will draw the wind chill down to probably the lower 40s for most of the afternoon. It's bundle up time. As you look at Monday and Tuesday, temperatures do come up as the winds drop off a bit. And then some showers with the storm I showed you out along the west coast. That's coming in, likely to be here by Wednesday night into Thursday or Friday. That could bring along some showers, more snow in the mountains, get our temperature up to 60 degrees.
All right, thank you very much, Rick. Well, you know what's so Idaho? A Monopoly board based on Boise, and it's finally here. The company Hasbro licensed Top Trumps to make Monopoly-themed boards, and they finally revealed the Boise Monopoly board just yesterday. There it is. It's gorgeous. And they asked for ideas on the board when they were first designing it, so we asked you. Remember? Let's see how we did.
In some light blue, I think that is because it's next to the jail. It's Boise Town Square Mall.
Light blue is actually the Boise Depot and Basque Museum and Cultural Center. So let's roll again.
I would say 8th Street downtown is kind of a simple one to say. You got your high-end properties right there.
We got it wrong again. Our luxury property is the Idaho State Capitol and the Greenbelt. Good choices. All right, third time's the charm.
I mean, this feels like it would just be shots fired. Gosh, it has to be one of those, it has to be a dive bar off of State Street, right?
Wrong. The brown area is Table Rock in the old penitentiary. Maybe because of the rocks? I don't know. Better luck next time, but great ideas all around. Maybe we'll make our own board. But you can pick up one of those boards in stores and online at places like CVS, and Amazon has it as well. They're $45. By the way, Phoenix Fire Games, they're out of Meridian, but they're hosting a Boise Monopoly tournament Sunday, November 5th, 2023. You could win one of these games. It's going to be at the El Cora Shrine in Boise, 10:30 to about 12:30 again, November 5th, downtown. And guess what, Boise? There's board games galore. And this one that we're going to talk about now, it's about Camel's Back. Boise OG, a great local company, is launching the game Surviving Camel's Back. Remember, like, the playgrounds were more about surviving instead of thriving? They were made of splintered wood, scorching metal, and steep slides, a much different time. Well, that's what this game is all about, and players have to show off their survival skills on the playground, and the player who gets out of Camel's Back first with the least ouchies, they win. So, still confused? Don't worry, there's a kickoff party coming up. It'll be at Lost Grove and Hyde Park next Friday from 4 to 8. All right, we're back with your comments after this. All right, welcome back. Let's get to some of your comments. Stay on the program. This person says, Joe, if I'm not mistaken, and you're not, Idaho doesn't have 3 other congressmen. As you stated in the Farm Bill story, the other Idaho congressman is Russ Fulcher. Our other representatives in Washington are senators. That is correct. My bad on that one. I guess what we were talking about here is that this was a letter to the House Speaker. Were the members of the Senate going to sign it? No, but we thought we had mentioned that. But yes, you have the senators in the Senate and then the representatives called congressmen. There you go. Very good. This person also says about the agricultural bill, does it extend to roofing crews and general contract crews? That's a good question. We will look into that for you. And this person is curious if they just dump all the pills in the water. No, they actually advise you not do that. And we'll get to more of your comments and stuff next week. All right, have a great weekend.